Man, that was not recording. You guys, I was just talking for a long time. Oh, that's funny. Math and Erin in the morning. Hey guys, I realized that I was still that idea of that Math in the Morning from Community. I've rewatched Community lately. I really hope there's going to be a movie, but I love that show and it's so funny. And it's like set at a community college and it's so funny. And then Troy and Abed have their own TV show in the morning, Troy and Abed in the morning. And so I love that. So yeah, I think I stole that from them. But I'm really happy to be here. And you guys, Math in the Morning has really helped me this year. I started doing Math in the Morning in January, and I was working on the degree, the presentation degrees of super compactness, that talk, and I would do my work, and then I would come here every morning. And since then, I haven't been coming here on the video every morning, but I've been like working every morning-ish, and I've gotten so much done this year. And like in the last 10 years, I haven't like published anything, and I'm thinking like, God, that's crazy. But this year, sorry guys, this year, I don't know if I shared this good news here, but my paper, Mitchell Rank for Super Compactness, was accepted. Fully accepted. So I had some minor revisions and I sent them in and then fully accepted. And I know what a big deal that is now, and I'm really grateful. So ZML, so very cool journal, German name. And so I'm very excited about that. And yeah, I know how hard it is. And then I have my other paper, the Killing Primes paper, which was rejected from the archive. And they said it's not something that would be interesting to them, but I don't believe that. But I also wonder if I should have done the logic tag instead of the number theory tag. But anyway, that'll get published eventually. But this Math in the Morning's been very effective. And down here, I'm in New Orleans, and I've like found a coffee shop that I really like, that I'm like very addicted to, and I feel like I can hang out there for a long time, and I get a lot of work done, and it's very fun. So I am going to be teaching eventually, and I gotta have that academic credential in order to publish and go to conferences. And if anyone knows any conferences, I really would like to go to some down here. I've already gone to 2 this year, so that's probably pretty good, but I'd like to go to maybe 2 more. And yeah, man, you guys, I was recording this, okay, let me think about what I was telling you guys about. Another thing is I've been hanging out a lot here, just going to variety of fun events. So this week I went to open mic comedy, and that was so much fun. If you've ever seen open mic comedy, it's just like, it's so funny, and there's so many people, and sometimes people get like nervous up there. And you know what I noticed about that I think I'm gonna take with me with teaching, is that like the audience wants you to succeed. Like there's not that many people in the audience, but this is like a situation where like they're gonna bomb, like everybody's gonna bomb, and like with teaching, but what I noticed is like we want them, like the hardest things to watch were when people were really funny and saying really funny things, and we were like laughing. There's not that many people in the audience, and I'm like laughing, and like we're laughing, and maybe not loudly, but we're like enjoying this. And then when they're like, oh, you guys aren't getting this, I guess this is a bomb. No, that might like be a joke itself, but there were some people that seemed like they genuinely thought that we weren't enjoying it, and that like, we weren't getting the joke. And then you feel bad because you're like, okay, I guess I won't laugh, or I won't enjoy it, because you're not like getting that I'm enjoying it. So that's something I take with me to teaching, because it's like, never put it on the audience. Never ever put it on the audience, because there's like, especially when you see tons of people performing, we want it to go well, and like it does go well with some people, but some people get like literally upset with the audience. and it's like, I'm not gonna, in teaching you can feel like that, and you can feel like everybody's against you, and they I think it's gonna be different down here, but I'm not saying that like I really don't like talking about teaching with people that aren't actually professors, because there's like a lot of nuance in it, but people like to know about it. But yeah, I would just say that like sometimes as a teacher you feel like your students are, maybe the first day or something, you feel like they don't like me or something. but I would say never put it on the audience, because they probably like have positive feelings, but they're, you know, if you're putting it on them that they have to like, I don't know, make you feel like comfortable, that's wrong. So I just like learn so much. I love like watching people on stage, because I feel like in life you can't just like stare at people that much and like observe them and try to understand them that way. But when they're performing music or comedy or something, then you can. Okay. Also, I saw I went to an open mic, like music open mic. I think I'm gonna sing a song there, but this doesn't seem like an open mic here in New Orleans. The open mic is just like a series of professionals, a variety of professionals. But I think I'm gonna go and, you know, make it seem like a real open mic. Also, I tried out for a movie because there was like a sign up. They were filming a movie down here, and so I was like, I'll try it. That would be fun. But you know, like I said, I'm also gonna be teaching, so I'd like a, you know, variety life. But I don't know. Sometimes the thought of just being a professor, it's just I love like creating something and it being kind of messy, but then at the end you hand this polished thing, and like working behind the scenes on a creative project is my favorite. So I'm gonna keep doing that. Okay, yeah, but it's really, really great down here as far as like stuff to do and the coffee shops and getting work done. So I'm super, super happy to be down here. Okay, what else was I gonna tell you guys? Okay, so let's get started on the math part. So I was gonna this time first of all, I was also gonna mention like this chapter on large cardinals has taken me like a year. Like I started in September, and there's 10 sections to it instead of 3 sections like all the other chapters, which I thought was gonna be somehow less, but it's the same process, so it just takes forever. I could have written 3 chapters in this time, so, and I only have 3 chapters left. But yeah, so this is the weekly impact. This is number 5. So we have 4, 3, 2, 1 left. But those are my favorite ones. I liked all of these. I really enjoyed writing all of these. And you know, all of these I tried to add some research, some like original research, and maybe that's why it took so long. But yeah, I just, this book's gonna take a while. So, and it's gonna take a while. I don't know if I'm gonna, I was thinking about like, because I wanna like include everything I wanna include, I might just like publish it myself on Amazon. I don't know. I really want this to be it. I don't care if it takes me a year to edit it. Okay. Anywho, so yeah, so let's read about Weekly Compact Cardinals. So this week I posted Weekly Compact Cardinals. I love Weekly Compact Cardinals. I hadn't known much about them actually before I started writing this book. But they're so combinatorial. I love the tree definition. I love the partition property definition. And the partition property definition is that if you have kappa, uncountable cardinal, and you color all the pairs in 2 colors, you can find a subset of kappa, which is size kappa, where you take any 2 from that set, and then they're always the same color. So you always find this order within the chaos. Okay, so I wrote a whole section about how weakly compact, the definition, the partition definition is equivalent to the tree definition. And so you can read that. And so this was, I just wanted to do some other things. So first I talked about the paper, let's see, it was Cody, Giddick, Shanker, and Hampkins talked about the least weakly compact cardinal and how it's kind of like, through forcing, we see that it's like the Magador's result and other results, the Magador's original like identity crisis. This too has like an identity crisis. It depends. You can force it to have larger cardinal properties, but if you're an L, it doesn't have these properties. Okay, so we talk about that. I know I don't go very in depth into those papers. And I just talked about how in general forcing can reveal the true nature of a large cardinal. And when you're forcing these kinds of results, like how you have to give some stuff up, but you want to make sure you hold on to whatever it is that, you know, the large cardinal property that you want to hold on to. And it's just like a bigger lesson about preservation and destruction. Okay. So, and then the philosophy of weakly compact cardinals. Okay, I'll read that one to you guys. Okay. So we'll put up the first slide here. I'll just make sure it's clear. The philosophy of weakly compact cardinals. Physics was jealous of art because art had all the colors and they meant something. Art walked up to physics with a cigar in her hand and told physics not to be jealous because physics loves organization, and art said that her world was just too chaotic. It's too much for you, kid. Physics said he didn't care, so they showed him only two colors, pink and turquoise, to color only pairs, and they said, let there be color. And every pair in physics was connected by either pink or turquoise. Physics was shook and shocked, frozen in time, absorbing all the color connections at once. I really like this idea that art's like this. Hey there, kid. I always do that character. Hey, kid, you know. Too much for you, buddy? Art said as she patted him on the shoulder. You'll find your way, she said as she walked away. You'll be okay, bud. After some focus, or perhaps lack of focus, physics could see how each object was connected to every other object through a band of color. Physics felt a creative rush and a feeling that pulled him to a place where there was some predictability in the chaos. The feeling created a wormhole to a world where every pair was the same color no matter which pair was chosen. This place was just as big as the place where physics was when the colors first came, and yet it was a subset of the original place. In this space, physics felt safe. He went back to the original world, back through the wormhole. Do it again, he said, and there was another coloring of the pair to physics. He felt the unstoppable pull towards order, and another wormhole appeared, and again he traveled to a place where every pair was the same within the original coloring. Because the original universe was big enough, the wormhole always existed. Physics continued to explore every coloring and felt the chaos, and then order, and then chaos, and then order over and over again. Okay, I had a hard time coming up with that. The scene, the setting for that. Usually I have something in mind and I keep thinking about it. This one I didn't necessarily, but I wanted to express that feeling of like finding this homogeneous set within the bigger set, and that's like a place of like order, because it's for every coloring, so it could be anything. Okay, I think that's the idea with these partition properties. Okay, the next thing, this is 3. I think I missed number 2, but this is 3. So further research, I've always, ever since I was born, ever since I got, ever since I was like a grad student, and I learned about Ramsey cardinals and partition properties, I really wanted to have degrees of, let's say, weakly compact cardinals with the partition property, because with a lot of the degrees, you can find the degrees with the embedding definition. Like recently for strongly compact cardinals, I found those, and like for super compact cardinals, that's the case. For Mitchell rank, that's the case. And Ramsey cardinals, Miha and Vika they developed like the details of the degrees of Ramsey cardinals using an embedding definition. But I really wanted to like see it, because like the partition property one is so visual, and it's so like, yeah, you can see it. And with the embedding, you can kind of see that. That's like a little more like, I feel like there's so many like details. It'd be like painting like a real world or something, like realism, like hyper realism or something. I don't know what I'm talking about, but it's something like that. Whereas this is like, Kandinsky, this is like, I could paint this, I could understand this. So I always wanted to see like the degrees with the partition property. And then I was talking to Oswaldo, because thank goodness for Oswaldo, because if I have questions, I always ask Oswaldo, and he'll answer me right away. But we were just talking about like, we were talking about how, it's got to be, he has an idea for weakly compact, but it's on the pi 1-1 indescribable. Because I mean, this is my idea, and I brought it to him, and like he had this idea for using the pi 1 indescribable definition of weakly compact. But we were talking about how it has to be like the object itself. Like it has to be particular to the large cardinal itself. And this is just like a general truth that like the degrees of the large cardinals have to capture, it's like a fractal, it has to capture the essence of the original large cardinal. And I gave the example in here about how one inaccessible means you're a limit of inaccessibles, because being the main part of being inaccessible is that you're a limit. One malo means the set of inaccessibles, the set of malos below you are stationary in you, because a big part of being malo means that the inaccessibles are stationary in you. So like stationary is a big deal. So with the weakly compact degrees, I thought, well, maybe the partition, it's a partition property on a partition property. Like somehow that's the fractal, and I think that actually works. So the idea was that you do like it's like there's two layers of colorings. There's like the colorings of the pairs of kappa, and then there's the colorings of those colorings. I think it's gonna work. So I also wanted to like point out here that I used the word ontologically, and it came to me naturally. So I feel like maybe 2020, I was like, I heard the word ontologically. Maybe I've heard it before. But I saw there was like an ontology or something, ontology conference or something like that. And I was like, ontologically. I was like, ontology. Like this took me a long time to understand what this is. I mean, you can look up the definition and stuff, but just like the way people are using it in philosophy. And I was writing about this, I was like, when the degrees match, I was thinking when the degrees match like philosophically, they also match mathematically. But it was like more than just like philosophically, it was like the meaning, the essence and the meaning of the large cardinal. And so I thought ontologically. So I think I used that word correctly, but that was the first time I actually used it naturally. Okay, so yeah, the idea is that because the thing about large cardinals is, this is going on for a while. The thing about large cardinals is that they fit together. Like you can come up with the ideas of large cardinals, people can come up with ideas of large cardinals, and it's like very philosophical, but like mathematically they fit together. And like you can have a wrong definition of degrees. So if I said one malo means that you're a limit of malos or something like that, that's like probably the wrong definition. And if you get the wrong definition, then they don't all lock together. So that's very interesting. So like we have to find like philosophically the meaning of these large cardinals, and then we get the right math definition, and then they lock together. That's so interesting to me because it just seems so like real, and it really combines like philosophy and math. Okay, yeah, I'm trying to get into the philosophy of math game. I just enjoy the open-mindedness of the philosophy world. Okay. So that's that, and then we'll go to the last page. I think this is 5, okay. So the idea is that an uncountable cardinal is one weakly compact if you have this partition property inside this partition property. Yeah, the notation looks really cool, and that's the main part. So we got that covered. And so what does it mean? It means for every coloring of the colorings, we color the colorings of the pairs of kappa. Within that, we'll get a homogeneous subset of size kappa, and then within that, each of those colorings has a homogeneous set. And so that way we would get that if it's one weakly compact, it's weakly compact. Because you could just color everything the same. The homogeneous set is all the colorings, and then all the colorings have a homogeneous set, which is true for for weakly compact. Okay, so I think it works. I don't know for sure, but I think it works. And I think that it goes with Oswaldo's definition. There's another definition out there. There's a paper on the orders of weakly compact cardinals, and so I think it also agrees with that definition. Okay, but this is what I would like to investigate in an upcoming paper. And I think I'd also throw in the degrees of strongly compact cardinals. You okay, Mr. Zeke? You got hair while you guys. It's okay, buddy. Oh, yeah, the other thing I was just going to say is that when you're trying to do degrees of weakly compact cardinals, or Ramsey cardinals or something, well, I don't know about Ramsey, let's not talk about Ramsey cardinals, but weakly compact, you might say, okay, I'll just, instead of coloring pairs, I'll color triples, or maybe I'll use 3 colors instead of 2 colors. Any of those variations, it's still equivalent to the original definition of weakly compact. Okay, so that's why we have to look further. But I feel really, I like this definition. I hope it works. Please, please, please tell me if it doesn't work. But like, I think that I like it because you can visualize it. I wonder what kind of other properties it might have. Okay, guys, I don't want to say goodbye. No, I had such a good time here, you guys. I'll be back next time. Hopefully next time, you know, not too long, I'll have the next, what do you think is the number 4 large cardinal of all time? We still haven't done inaccessible. We still haven't done super compact. We still haven't done measurable. So those 3 are in there. What's the other one? It's a good one. I think that's the next one. It's a really good one. Okay, well, I hope you have an amazing, excellent day. And we'll see you soon. And thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting me in any way. I really appreciate it. And I want to say goodbye. But I'll see you soon. Okay, we'll see you soon.